Hello guys, welcome to TMX Adventures. Lisa here. Hey, today we're going to do a rich lemon ice cream and it uses the limoncello that I made in the last couple of days. I showed you the video last night. You can go have a little laugh at that. Somewhere between the first and second video, you'll notice I went from making a quarter batch to making a half batch. No wonder mine tasted really sweet compared to my memory of limoncello as a 20-something-year-old. Anyway, still tastes amazing. Definitely put it on your to-dos, okay? So we're going to make this rich lemon ice cream. Now, something special happens when you use vodka, which is what is the base of limoncello, in ice cream, okay? You actually end up with a really incredibly smooth ice cream because the freezing point is lowered. So I think it's lowered. But anyway, something happens to the freezing point and it means it actually doesn't go solid. So you actually get a much creamier product. So we're going to use that today. We're going to get started. I'm also going to change a few things in it. Okay, come with me on this journey. Say hi if you're watching on today. If you're watching the replay on YouTube tonight, remember to hit subscribe. And of course, share these videos with friends and family who have a Thermomix so that they can make ice cream and get more confidence and gain more from their Thermomix. Okay, so I'm skipping the grated lemon zest, okay? Just because I'm going to. I'm actually going to weigh in all of my condensed milk. I want to know how much I've got because I'm going to kind of change up the portion of this recipe. It actually doesn't make a huge amount. Good morning, Anne. Lovely to see you on. It doesn't make a huge amount. So it's about 700 grams. It's not a lot. That doesn't go far when there are 6 of us. So I'm going to just see how much this is and I'm going to try and level up the recipe to make a little bit more. This is my leftover homemade, as you can see. See if I've got a spatula in here to scrape it out with. Maybe I won't actually get much more out of it. I was hoping for more like a tin, but we'll see how we go. I thought it was about a double batch. It was a double batch condensed milk. You guys know when I make condensed milk, I tend to make a double. I used a full equivalent of a tin, and then I've used a little bit in other things, cocktails and things like that. So maybe that's where the rest went. I'm not going to get a huge amount extra, sadly, out of it. That's okay. We'll just roll with that. Okay, so it's an extra 60 grams. Okay, some double cream. I have some cream that is actually expired. It won't have gone off. It hasn't been opened from, what is it? East Coast. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Barumba's Organic Dairy. Double thick organic cream. So that sounds good. So I'm going to put that in first because it needs using. I'm just going to pour the whey off the top. Sometimes you'll find real cream has whey. That's okay. We just pour it off. So it's not that it's, it technically is expired, technically on the date by maybe a day or two. It's rubbed off. I don't know what that said. I feel like it was a couple of days ago, but it'll be fine. The thing to know though, as we've discussed many times in the last few weeks, is expiring cream whips incredibly fast. So we may not need the full time in this in a second. The pure cream about to go in, it's still got a few days left on it, so I'm not anticipating. However, it's really thick. I'm not anticipating it. Oh, there we go. Oh, stop. Well, we're going for a little bit more cream than I planned. There was a big chunk of cream across the entryway. I'll put it in anyway. That's all right. We don't mind a bit of extra cream. It's just going to balance out the extra sugar syrup in the limoncello. All right. Whoops. Next up. Wasn't going to put that much in. Limoncello, 30 grams. Now, it's not a huge amount. Am I going to let my children have this? Yes. Am I going to let them have this? No. Okay, but in there, 30 grams amongst an entire batch, there's not much. They're going to get a gram. Like, it's seriously nothing in the scheme of things. So, and I don't mind if this goes a whisker over because, of course, I've got extra cream and not really much extra condensed milk. All right, next up, lemon juice. Okay, because this is all about rich lemon ice cream. Remember the spatula trick? It does work better for those of you who've been around a long time. You've got the old school spatulas. Definitely works better on old school spatulas. But hey, work with what you've got. Then TM6 ones do work as well. Just juicing that lemon. This is actually a doozy of a lemon. Our lemon tree is not quite ready with fruit. It's green still, so I've had to buy them. And this one's got so much skin on it. It's solid. We do have beautiful lychees coming in at the moment. Looking forward to doing some stuff with that over the coming days. We've just got another watermelon in, which is exciting. Interestingly, watermelons are not normal shaped. I don't know if it's the variety we planted, but they've got funny skinny ends. They look like a butternut pumpkin shape. It's very interesting. Anyway, getting some lemon juice. This will give it that nice fresh. It's going to be 30 something degrees today, so I'm looking forward to this. All right. I've just put a little video together for you guys as well about what I've put in hampers for friends this year. So I'll share that with you in the coming few days, 24 hours or so. A little bit extra of that as well, that's okay. All right, on with my lid. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, left that at the sink. And in with my measuring cup. 10 seconds, speed through. Keep an eye on this. It could over whip, yeah? All right. Shouldn't, but could. The other day, 7 seconds, right? That's what we saw the other day. So I'm going to take the lid off so I can watch it. This is actually the extent of the recipe, okay? Now, the reason I skipped the zest was actually because I don't have a zester and I didn't want chunks in it. And you will get chunks when you just put in zest off like a grater. You're going to have texture. I didn't want texture in it. I want this to be like creamy, like beautiful. Okay, transfer to a freezer-proof container, freeze overnight for at least 10 hours. Okay, the trick to making this happen faster, let's have a look at this, by the way. There we go, perfect, hey? The trick to making this happen faster is to put it in something where it can be thin. So rather than having a thick slab of ice cream that then has to set, if it's only about 1 centimeter tall, it's going to set a lot faster, less than 10 hours, than if you've got something that's like cake thickness. So the thinner you can make it, the better. All right, so I will come back to you when this is frozen, and we're going to do the next step of dicing it, whipping it, and probably eating it. Okay, just one other tip though on that note is if you do freeze it in a tray, and some of you guys have done this with me before over the years, where we've actually started a cook along where we've made ice cream, we've put it flat in a tray, only 1 centimeter thick, and by the time about an hour and a half has gone by, most people, because we're all doing it from our own kitchens, so everyone's freezers are different, most people's ice cream, they could get a spoon and run it through and you got the beautiful curl. So that's the beauty of actually doing it thin, is you don't necessarily have to do a second whip. A second whip's going to give you more like a soft served style ice cream. But when you do it on a tray like that, it's faster. You can run a spoon through it. If you're going to put that on the top of, say, a pudding or something like that, or in a cone, you can just run a spoon through and serve it up. So it doesn't need then 10 hours. It'll be like an hour and a half and you're ready to go, which is super cool. I've got a glass wait for the camera. The glass container, and I've got baking paper in it. Years ago, I would have put cling wrap in it. I just don't buy cling wrap these days. I don't have that. So I'm just going to pour this in, making sure it's looking smooth. It's actually, look, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you something. To me, I can still see texture in it. Now that will be probably that hunk of cream I chucked into it. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it a little bit longer of a whip. Just a little, learning, I guess you could say, along the way. Because this would be what I would do if I wasn't on camera, is I would stop and go like, oh, there's a couple of chunks in there. And so it's the cream, right? The big hunks of cream. So what do we do? Well, the recipe says pour it out and keep going. I'm going to give it a good whip, but not for long, because I don't want it to thicken. Like, I don't want it to actually go to that thickened state. All right, so let's go up to speed. Let's go 10 for just a couple seconds. Just a couple of seconds. We're just trying to get rid of those little hunks of cream in there, okay? Let's have a look. Doesn't take long with Thermomix, right? Like, that's better. Look at that. I can instantly see that has smoothed it out. 2 seconds. 2 seconds and the hunks are gone. That's all we needed. All right, so just check. I mean, I've used 2 different types of cream. One is beyond expired. One had a lot of stuff stuck behind the cream layer on top. So that's why, okay? If you just poured straight out of one, you probably, I wonder if I can show you this. Hang on, guys. You probably wouldn't have had the challenges that I have had. Let me just grab thank you. I'm just going to grab one of these. I want to put you up here so you guys can have a look at the texture. And then, once this is poured out into the freezer, see? Kind of looks like a milkshake texture, doesn't it? That's it. So, I'll be back to you when this is set, and we're going to slice it up. If I can, I'll show you about rolling a spoon through it as well, and I'll show you how we re-whip it, ready to serve. But excited to taste the final product. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you, Ooh, it's really yummy. All right, so I'll see you in a little while. I can't wait to show you this later today. So take care. And those of you on Facebook, you're going to see the whole recipe on YouTube. So make sure you check that out tonight, about 6 o'clock. That's when I tend to put the whole lot up. And those of you on YouTube, we're just going to flash and you're going to see the next part in a second. So take care. I'll see you in a second. Okay, everyone, it has only been 3.5 hours and already this is set enough, and you can see I poked, maybe you can see it, but I poked a spoon in the freezer to see what it was like. You can see already, if I wanted to serve this up, I could serve this straight from this container. I literally can roll a spoon into it and look at that. Look at that ice cream. Okay, you don't need to rechurn it if you don't want to. Now I can see the underlayer. You may not be able to see overly well. It still has a little freezing it could do, but if I needed to serve that up, I could do that. Anyway, I thought I'd just pop on. I was super excited about that. I am going to give it, I'm going to say another hour in the freezer to grab that little bit underneath that still looks like it's just slightly runny before we come back, churn it and do exactly what the instructions say. But I just thought I'd show you that. I was a little excited. So we'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. It has been 2 more hours in the freezer and it's solid, okay? But I made the mistake other times of not reading ahead in the recipe. So I've just read ahead in this recipe, and this is a churn and then set again in the freezer and then serve. Now, I told my kids for afternoon tea today they can have ice cream. So last time I did this, it made a big slushy. Do you guys remember? I can't remember. I feel like it was like a strawberry ice cream of some sort. And yeah, it made it really sloppy and slushy like. So I don't know, I'm tempted not to do this because they want to eat it, but at the same time, I suppose it's so hot, they probably don't care if it's a slushy. All I'm doing on the bench is using a very big knife to slice it into portions so it fits down the blade shaft, okay? So it is, I'm gonna say it's soft, but it's not soft. It's soft in the sense that you can, cut it and also cut through your baking paper, but not so soft that it's I mean, it's melting obviously the warmth, but it's not melting because it's not set. Okay, it says to do this in 2 batches. You guys know I'm no good at following instructions. Yep, don't laugh at me, I know you are. Excuse the paint. I'm going to be painting today as well. Nothing like painting 2 days before Christmas. Okay, let's do this. So, half the frozen squares. Yeah, let's go all in. Insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl. 10 seconds on speed 2. That's nice and low, isn't it? If only I had a measuring cup, that would be fantastic right now. We're going to put the spatula in instead that I used for juicing earlier. Let's do that. Okay, 10 seconds speed 2. Let's see what this is like. It's nice and thick. I have a bowl. It's not going to jump out at me at speed 2, is it? Ooh, okay. Double batch in there. Hasn't particularly churned. Have a look. Let's do it again. It would normally say tip it out, set aside, and do it again. We're going to go a little higher on the speed this time. Now, speed 2 did very little last time. Let's go a little bit faster. Let's churn it, shall we? That's better. Now we're churning. Might just extend our time a little bit. So I've got a bit of control. And I'm just going to push the top down like I do in Fruity Dream to make sure it gets part of the mix. Now, surprisingly, maybe it's the vodka, but it's actually not gone soft and soggy like the double cream strawberry one did. So the kids are going to be excited about that. But you're supposed to now put that back in and go in the freezer for another 4 hours. But as I said, kids aren't going to have a piece of that. So let me put some circles in my bowl. And look at that. How good is that? Homemade ice cream, Lemoncello ice cream. I put a couple in a bowl. I'm going to get a photo. Guys, put this on your Christmas menu this year. Like, it's beautiful. Put a couple of mint leaves on top. Make it look a little festive. Easy. So incredibly easy in your Thermomix. And as I said, you don't have to wait to the very churning stage if you don't want to. You can get the spoon into it earlier, okay? Don't feel like you're going to wait to the very end. But also, because it's got the vodka in it, it can freeze. Dogs are barking. It can freeze and then actually stay soft in the freezer, which is really nice because often our ones we make for ice cream, we have to take them out and give them time to defrost. So it's great that we've got one that doesn't require that. Anyway, before it gets crazy around here and before my ice cream melts, I want to get a photo. So take care and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.